This week on 49ers Sac-Hi Sports, the league races continue and we have the highlights from many of the first place matchups. You'll see Valley Christian take on Western Collegiate, Edison battle Weston Ranch, and Laguna Creek take on Grant.
Kimball and East Union girls meet for first place in the Valley Oak League. Girls soccer features Monterey Trail and McClatchy. Plus, you'll see the story of the incredibly strong Jake Westman from the Christian Brothers basketball team. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Braunstein. We start tonight in Shingle Springs, where Ponderosa, the Bruins, look to repeat as Foothill Valley League champs. The Bruins start off the year at 4-0 in league and have not lost a league game since 2021.
Marco Moorman leads Pondo with 14.5 points a game. The Bruins taking on the 2-2 Placer Hillman, led by senior captain Garrett Dutro. The league meeting between Pondo and Placer taking place Friday night.
Nick Pecoraro here. Ponderosa sits atop the FVL standings, but Placer's trying to make up some ground. Okay, so last week I anointed Ethan Boness, Threethan Boness, because he can do things like that, but Placer has its own shooters. Garrett Dutro banks one in from the corner. We've got a tight one early. Sam Herlihy drops it off for Jack Trickett and one. Placer leads 14-10 after one. Second quarter, Hillman swinging around to point guard Ben Manley, who cashes in, but here come the Bruins. Boness goes cross-court to Lake Liebscher, who starts heating up for Pondo. And here he is again on the breakaway now. The pass from Marco Moorman. Liebscher gets the lefty finish and one, and the Bruins take their first lead. Still in the second, Sam Herlihy with a nice drive for Placer. Sam had 12 for the Hillman on Friday, but Pondo was collectively hot from three, especially Keenan Patterson, who had 11 points and 3 triples in the second, and the Bruins take a 34-28 lead at the break. In the third, Pondo gets 3 offensive rebounds on this possession. It ends in a Patterson lay-in. And then it's Lake Liebscher again from the corner. Lake makes it splash, and the Bruins are up 10. Nice ball movement here from the Hillman. Manley to Sean Hawking to Herlihy. Back to Manley to Kobe Espina for the bucket. But the Bruins close the third strong. Max Manfredi, call him Mr. Windex because he's cleaning up the glass. And one. Pondo up by 14 after 3. Garrett Dutro doing work for the Hillman. 9 of his team-high 21 came in the fourth, but too much Bruins. Manfredi finds Patterson, who had 22 on Friday, and then Liebscher working the give and go with Angel Flores. Liebscher led all scorers with 26 and 5 3-pointers, and Pondo moves to 6-0 in the Foothill Valley League.
Brian Bueller here at Jesuit Friday night. Andrei Stojakovic still on the mend, but congrats to him on being named a McDonald's All-American earlier in the week, one of just 24 in the country. His Marauders hosting Cosumnes Oaks. Elias Weathers starting the scoring for the Wolfpack with a tough drive and tumble for 2. Later in the first, Jesuit working it around to Cole Epperson. The big man hits the 3 to make it a 5-point lead for the Marauders. Still in the first, Reed Jones has some momentum going to the hoop and slinks his way in for 2. Jesuit up 7. Wolfpack attack right back. Henry Hill with the scoop pass to Dalen Jones, and he finishes to halt a 10-2 Marauder run. Next possession for Jesuit, Epperson to Ajani Lewis, who makes the contested 3. It's back to a double-digit lead. Second quarter now. Doesn't take long for the Marauder lead to double. Kevin Hopp hits a 3 of his own, and Jesuit is up 20. The Wolfpack running uphill in this one, but that suits Henry Hill just fine. Gets this tough shot to go, and the Pack are within 16. Final minute of the half. Look how quickly this play develops. Nat Brown gets the rebound. Outlets to Hopp, who gets it to Demi Kaufman for the lay-in. And Jesuit takes a 21-point lead into the break. Third quarter, it's another Hopp to Kaufman connection. Marauders expanding their lead. Kaufman continuing to be rewarded for his cuts to the basket. This time, Epperson spots him, and it's 2 more for the crafty junior. But the Marauders are more than just finesse. Case in point, Lewis to Epperson for the slam, and Jesuit plays a near flawless game as they win this one big, 77-46. Brian Mueller coming to you from Monterey Trail Friday night, where the Lady Mustangs take on McClatchy. First, we have the Mustangs showing off some defense. A block from Ania Whipper, who gives it to the speedy Tiara Council for the basket. That gives MT a 1-point lead. Later in the quarter, McClatchy with a quick response. Sydney Wilson to Nina Kane for the lefty lay-in. Then Tamaria Rump harassing the Mustangs. She gets the steal and takes it in herself. 16-13 Lions at the end of one. Second quarter, Rump's going on a stealing spree, gets another one, and the quick pass to Kane for two more. McClatchy is up 7. Here come the Mustangs on the other end. Council going behind the back on this one. Pistol Pete-esque, and Monterey is down 4. And the Mustangs continue riding the comeback trail, even when it's a bumpy one. Jada Gray intercepts the pass, gets it to Council, who's rejected. No biggie, she gives it back to Gray, and the Gray to Council to Gray connection ties the game at 24. Late in the second, Rump turning on the turbo again, and there's Kane with the basket and the foul. The Lions take an 8-point lead into the half. In the third, here come the Mustangs again. LaKayla Hale takes some contact here, but gets the floater to go. Monterey Trail down 4. But the Lions still looking like the main event. Norette Lewis, the hesitation dribble, followed by the hoop, 44-34 McClatchy. Monterey Trail has 8 minutes to close that gap. This will help. Anise Jefferson hits the jumper, but they couldn't contain Kane. The 6'1 sophomore continues to have her way all over the court. That goes for the defensive side as well. What can't she do? The block, which leads to a turnover, and she even gets the assist to Aaliyah Wilson, and that would do it. Kane and Rump combine for 44 as the Lions win it 64-50.
Ian Olsen here in Fair Oaks, bringing you the matchup between Christian Brothers and Del Campo. 18 minutes in, Graham Muskoff wins possession of the ball and clips it to a dashing Connor Nye, who chases it down and drills a one-touch shot into the back of the net, putting Christian Brothers up 1-0. Later in the half, the Falcons are again on the attack. Jack Bergfeld passes it ahead and makes his run, and after Graham Muskoff leads him, Bergfeld makes a nice first touch before firing it into the goal. 2-0 Falcons at the half. Lining up on a set piece, Zachary Hemp serves it deep into the box. Muskoff is on the other end, and it's a goal. Later in the second half, Jacob Cobain wins a 50-50 ball and hands it off to Hemp. One-touch shot, and it's in the corner. Now an in-swinger from Cobain on the corner kick. Nicholas Bass makes a header, and Colin Ross redirects it into the goal. Christian Brothers gains the W 5-1, moving into second place in the Capital Athletic League.
Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Nathan Schnell from Vacaville. The Bulldogs taking down the defending league champs Vanden last week in a 1-point thriller. Nathan had a game-high 26 points.
Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Lloyd French from Downey. The Knights beat Pittman last week to take over the first place spot in league. The incredibly talented senior scored 26 points and grabbed 10 rebounds in a double-double performance. Lloyd French and Nathan Schnell, this week's Roseville Hyundai Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD teaches us how we can save energy.
Here is this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
I'm Tegan Brostrom from St. Francis High School, and this is this week's Clean Power City Tip. Unplug your phone and other electronics when the battery reaches full charge to help control energy leaks. Chargers continue to use power as long as they're plugged in. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first SunPower Electric game, Weston Ranch and Edison meet one more time for the league lead.
Then it's St. Mary's taking on Manteca in girls hoops. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's Sac-Hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai Nexo, we've got you covered. Claim yours today.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF9ers, we just win. SF9ers, we just win. I'm from that field, I'm from that field. 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 I'm from that field.
Our first SunPower Electric game tonight will likely decide the San Joaquin Athletic Association champion. Western Ranch is brand new to the SJAA, but the previous winners of the Valley Oak League, the Cougars taking home a NorCal championship back in 2020.
Edison is the two-time defending SJAA champs. The Vikings and Cougars met earlier this season with Edison winning in an overtime thriller. The Soul Vikes 7-0 in league, the Cougars 6-1. It's our first SunPower Electric game. Nick Pecoraro was there.
Electric game.
Nick Pecoraro here in Stockton. Well, we learned firsthand in a January 4th overtime thriller that these are two of the best teams in the section, hands down. And here we are 3 weeks later for round 2 in our SunPower Electric game. It's Edison taking on Western Ranch. The host Vikings have won 11 straight. Leon Mills leads a balanced attack with 19.5 points and 6+ assists per game. Western Ranch, meanwhile, is working on its own 9-game win streak. Senior Elijah Mobley absolutely erupted on Monday. He had a school record 52 points, going 23 of 28 from the field, and he did that all in the first half. A legendary performance by Mr. Mobley. We're about to find out right now who's going to have the hot hand. Is it Edison or Western Ranch? It's our SunPower Electric game. Glad to see the kids are still reading newspapers these days, but you might want to put those down because you're going to miss a heck of a game. First quarter, Leon Mills feeds Cruz Baris underneath, and Mills on the attack now. A tough bucket drops, and Edison with the early advantage. But Western Ranch's Christian Holmes gets the and one just before the horn, but the Vikings are still up 4 after 1. Second quarter, we know Elijah Mobley can catch fire. He draws the foul here. He had 11 in the second quarter, but Edison is turning defense into offense. Cruz Baris sends it back. Jahan Williams looks up for Mills, and the Vikings are up 6 midway through the second. But here come the Cougars. Elijah Mobley intercepts it and uses his twin psychic power to find his brother Elliott for 2, but we're still in the second. Freshman DeMarcus Cobb feeds big man Junior Adams down low. He gets up high for the jam, but Western Ranch will take a 3-point lead into the half as Elliott Mobley finishes with a nice reverse scoop. He had 15 for the Cougs. Third quarter, Elijah Mobley, man, they really are twins. He nearly hits the same exact reverse lay-in. Leon Mills fighting to keep the Vikings within 5, but Christian Holmes again with another big and one for Western Ranch. Christian had 11 on Wednesday, and Elijah Mobley decides to let it fly from 3, and Western Ranch is up by 13. Fourth quarter, Mills has great court vision. He feeds Junior Adams for another big dunk, but it's too much Cougars in the second half. Holmes makes his defender just disappear for the easy bucket, and here he is again on the money to Richard Banks, and Western Ranch goes on the road and earns a huge statement win. Elijah Mobley with 76 points in his last 2 games.
It feels like a playoff game, playoff atmosphere. I love the crowd. I love how the crowd got into it. When the light shines bright, I like stepping up and showing out for my team. Welcome to the SJA.
With our SunPower Electric game, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
St. Mary's making a trip over to Manteca for a non-league showdown. The Rams are in the black unis, and St. Mary's did not waste any time getting on board as Mia Warren drives and kicks it out to Nia Lowry for the 3. It's good. Then Diana Salazar from the outside stops and pops for 3. Rams go up 8-2. Late night banking for Manteca's Marcelina Chaparro as she goes glass. U.S. Bank is always open, FYI. 12-6 game, but St. Mary's sharpshooter were on point as Jordan Lee finds Lowry in her favorite corner. Another 3-ball is in. Wet. Rams go back up 9. And St. Mary's put on a 3-point clinic in the first. Mia Jemias goes bottoms, and that was the 4th 3 of the period. Second quarter now, more trade bombs for St. Mary's. Teresa Gutico knocks one down here. Then Manteca responds with a three of their own. Brianna Parker stops and pops this triple. Bree for three. Some ball movement here as Nia Button beats the double team over to Jordan Lee and down to Lowry, the hoop and the harm. Then Lowry drives baseline. She finds Kylie Limbrick underneath the hoop for the lay-in, and the Rams have busted this thing wide open by 22. Warren on a breakaway, able to lay it up and in. Bad finger and all. The Rams lead it big at the break. Third quarter was more the same. Another three is good for St. Mary's as Lowry knocks this one down. Manteca Shapiro finds Bria Vieira down in the post. Bree to battle and score it for the Buffaloes. But every time a good basket was made by Manteca, it was answered and then some by the Rams. Lee hits this three-pointer here. One of the top three-point scorers in the game was right here, right now. It's Diana Salazar, scored 5 of the team's 17 three-pointers in the game as the Rams from St. Mary's win big on the road.
Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Stephen Weiss with this week's health tip.
ACL tears are serious and common athletic injuries, which typically require surgery and 9 to 12 months of recovery and rehab before returning to sports. ACL tears are 4 to 6 times more common in female athletes. This increased risk is believed to be due to differences in how female athletes run, jump, pivot, and land when compared to male athletes. The most effective way to reduce this risk is through participation in an ACL prevention training program, often offered through many physical therapy facilities. These are shown to reduce the risk of non-contact ACL tears by up to 67% and are most effective when done around the time of your teenage growth spurt.
Coming up, Rio Americano gets one more crack at Capital Christian.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin section top 10 girls basketball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
Thank you, Tracy Toyota, for going above and beyond.
Excellent customer service and quality of service provided.
Tracy Toyota understands that our reputation of trust makes a difference, and our reviews prove. We're with you all the way. Our customers are so happy with their buying experience, they proudly show it online. We even certify our used cars with an included warranty. During the Grab the Keys Let's Go sales event, get 3.99% on select new models. Tracy Toyota, with you all the way.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
Capital Christian has lost just one league game since 2019. The Cougars going for their 4th league title in a row. Gavin Sykes is having an incredible sophomore season.
Cap Christian enters the week with a 6-0 record. Rio Americano comes in at 5-1. The Raiders' only league loss was to Capital Christian back on January 4th. Rio looking to pull onto a first-place tie with the Cougars Wednesday night.
Warm-ups are complete. It's time to get it on. Rio Americano, our 8th-ranked team in our poll, taking on Capital Christian, the 5th-ranked team. Here we go. Rio Raiders jump out to a 6-2 lead on this Miles Lake pass over to Jace Thompson. Good shot fake and then drops the jumper. Capital Christian's Jalen Valdez drives to the left side of the hoop, goes up and over the defenders and scores it with the right hand. 10-8 Cougars. Then Capital Christian staying aggressive. Gavin Sykes kicks it out to Monte Gonzalez, who knows how to knock down the J in the corner. 17-15. Capital Christian goes up by 4 when Valdez finds Marcellus Jackson, and he gets the bucket to drop. Jaron Hardy with the steal. To the cup he goes. No, but Lake is there for the putback, and we're tied at 21. Hey, good defense here by the Raiders, but even better D by Kanye Clark for the Cougars stealing the ball, and then knowing where his guy Micah Hobson is, he scores at 23-21 Cap. Cougars off and running, or tumbling I should say. Ball gets to Miles Wiggins still, and he does a great job spinning and scoring it. To the cup he goes. Tied at 35 with time winding down the third. Mason lets it fly for 3. Bottoms, and the Raiders take the lead. Lake running the offense, swings it over to Luke Mason. He's dangerous from out there. It's now a 7-point Raiders lead. Rio leads by 8. Here's Dylan Newberry to Lake, who gets blocked by Sykes for the Cougars. But Lake recovers and puts it in for the Raiders. They go up 10. Cap Christian cuts into that lead here, taking it down to a 6-point game. Kanye Clark drives and spins his way in for 2. Then Rio was able to put the game on ice as Luke Mason bangs his way inside and then hits the turnaround fadeaway. The Raiders went on the road, and it's getting real tight at the top of the league standings.
I just feel like we really bought into team defense. It's been our problem all year. We knew we could play defense, but I mean, we just proved it tonight, playing against a good team.
It's typically an exciting thing for a student athlete to go through a major growth spurt, especially if you're a young basketball player.
But our Nick Pecoraro explains why that's been a bit of a setback for Jake Westman, a senior from Christian Brothers who experienced both pain and perseverance.
"2023 has represented a huge turnaround year for Christian Brothers hoops. With only 6 wins in each of the previous 2 seasons, the Falcons have nearly doubled that total this year. And a big reason for their reemergence is senior Jake Westman.
Oh man, Jake's the glue. He's the glue of our team. He's our 5. We run him at the center position because we believe his athletic ability. He can beat pretty much everybody up and down the court. He's just everything that we need. We go as he goes.
At first glance, you notice Jake's fearless play, the nearly 7 points per game, the 4.5 rebounds per game, and another 1.5 assists per game. But what you don't see is the constant pain and discomfort Jake endures after each game, the 18 hours per day with a back brace to help the severe scoliosis, a result of a major growth spurt when Jake was 14.
So I pretty much started noticing it like sophomore year during COVID. So we were at home, I was at Zoom classes, just sitting down all day, and I would just feel my back getting tighter, and it wasn't until probably last year, junior year, when I finally went to the doctors and they were like, oh yeah, you have scoliosis. I couldn't walk, I couldn't get up. I was just constant pain and I couldn't run or jump.
Jake's physical condition greatly limited him during his junior season.
I couldn't like play at all, and so I was just on the sideline here at practices, just watching and observing, and yeah, it was pretty sad just watching everybody else play. I couldn't do anything.
He would come home from practice and scrimmages and games and complaining about his back hurting. They did some x-rays and he had a 37% curvature rate at the time. But probably about a year later, we went in for another follow-up x-ray and it was up to about a 58% curvature.
So pretty much my spine is shaped like an S.
Basically, they said over 50% degree curvature would require surgery. So without it, it's just going to progressively get worse. So if he never had surgery, it could eventually be 90 degrees when he was older.
It's never been a question of whether or not Jake would have surgery, but more of a question of when.
If we do surgery right after high school graduation, then he's not going to be able to play sports for a year, so he won't be able to play his freshman year in college. If we wait till after he graduates from college, he's going to be in pain for 4 more years.
To hear that it may not be an opportunity for him to play at the next level with the surgery, you know, it gets me emotional because I think he's one of the few guys that can have that ability to go play at the next level.
With so much uncertainty for his basketball future, Jake has worked harder than ever through extensive physical therapy to get back on the court and savor his senior year.
It's just who he is, though. He has this demeanor. He just comes in, goes to work, helps out where it's needed, and gives opinions, you know. But he also has that dog in him, too. Like, he started getting his bang outs. He started catching bodies. We call him the body catcher Jake. And I said, oh, there he goes, there he goes. So once I seen that, I said, he's ready to go.
And what's more, Jake proves he's the ultimate teammate, sacrificing his body perhaps more than anyone on the team. In fact, he leads the entire Capital Athletic League in charges taken, one of the most selfless and physically demanding acts on the basketball court.
Sometimes I cringe. I are you okay? Are you okay? Like, I just always look at that, and he bounces right back up.
Regardless of what's going on with his back, he, presses through, plays as hard as he can. He just continues to sacrifice his body, to our chagrin sometimes, but he definitely just has a true love for the game.
Jake still hopes to play basketball collegiately post-surgery, at the very least to lead an active lifestyle. But for now, in his senior year, he has perspective.
I'm grateful. I know other people have it much worse than me, and so I'm just grateful that I'm able to finish it off this year. I'm just happy that I'm able to play, just be a part of the team.
In Sacramento, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Even with some scary moments on the court this year, Jake is determined to stick out his senior year, and he decided he will have surgery after his high school graduations this year so he can begin rehabbing and hopefully have a chance to play in college.
Yeah, and we did a story earlier this year on the Bay Area show on a Carondelet water polo player. She had the surgery
went really well,
and she's back in the pool.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. All right, coming up, the Mattress Firm Perfect Match, the SMAL showdown with Valley Christian Academy and Western Sierra.
Then it's Edison taking on Weston Ranch for the league lead in boys soccer. But first, here's this week's Spirit Corner featuring the incredible competition cheer team from Oak
Trevor was born a champion. He knows how to make lemonade from lemons. He also knows that comfort is all year round. So sometimes, when you can't make lemonade, you make hot chocolate. Today, Trevor is proud to be a service champion. We're now offering a $58 2-for-1 special. You'll get a comprehensive AC tune-up and a free furnace safety inspection. High five service, champion attitude. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
Niners Sac-Hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers. We are back at Levi Stadium with this week's Mattress Firm Perfect Match. Western Sierra Collegiate Academy looking for its 3rd league title in 4 years. The Wolves enter the week with a 7-7 record, but 5-0 in SMAL play.
Valley Christian Academy comes into the week with a 3-2 league record. The Lions return point guard Chase Clary, who's been out with an injury since January 5th. The game is our Mattress Firm Perfect Match. Aubrey was there.
Western Collegiate looking for its 20th straight league win, but Valley Christian Academy is having none of that. VCA jumps out to a 7-0 lead on the Chase Clary 3. Chase is happy to be back after sitting out 6 games with an ankle injury. It's 15-4 VCA after Matthew Larson takes the inbound pass from Ian Glaspie and drains the long ball, so the defending champs playing from behind early. Prayag Parikh with the pickpocket, and he heads to the rack for 2. 15-11 VCA after 1. The Lions on the fast break. Clary cuts to his left, kicks it out to Daniel Barakat from the elbow, and Barakat lands the triple. 3 3-pointers for Daniel in the first half. The Lions with an 8-point lead. Jonathan Ball down low, out to Mathis Klein. Put 3 on the board for Klein and his Wisco Wolves. 5-point game. Malachi Urena gets the bounce pass from Rod Williams. He gets the physical 2. And in the closing minute of the first half, Chris Donker gives it to Clary. 14 points in the first half for Chase, only a junior. Chase is a big part of this Lions team. Western Collegiate down 38-30 at the half. Lawrence Lau up ahead to Mathis Klein, and Klein goes in for 2. Clary makes it an 8-point game once again on the trip to Euroville. He can shoot and he can move. The Wolves chipping away at the Lions' lead. Chase Delaloy penetrates the paint, finishes with the riveting reverse. Trenick DePanos gets it over to Klein. Klein drives to the hoop and gets the harm. The free throw gives Wisca its first lead of the night. 3 minutes to play in the third. Klein to DePanos to a driving Daniel Vove. 45-42 Wolves, and Wisca was feeling it. So VCA playing from behind for the first time in the third. Williams to Urena, then back out to Clary. Chase hits his 4th 3 of the night, giving him 24, but is it enough? The Lions up by 3. Vove snags the offensive rebound, and Daniel is able to put it back. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Clary throws up a Hail Mary. It misses left, but Urena puts it up just in time. 52-49 heading into the final frame. Max Franti this time with the offensive board. Lawrence Lau wide open to the top of the key and splash. It's 52-all. Franco Omega to Delaloy, 2 big steps, and Chase delivers to the hoop. Western Collegiate with 21 points in the fourth, and the Wolves take home the 70-59 win in our Mattress Firm Perfect Match. Here trying to defend their title, the Wisca Wolves.
Yeah! Let's go!
Mathis with 24 points tonight. You down in the second half. What is it with this second half comeback?
We're just a competitive team. We always want the win, and we're just always competitive. We work for this, and we thrive in these moments.
Awesome. And this is Coach Andre's 4th year at Wisca. Chase, now tell me, what is it? Every year this team is in contention. What is it about Coach Andre's style that really puts you guys in a place to succeed?
I think it's just the intensity, forces us to work hard. We come in every day, we work, we don't take any days off, and I think we just have a championship mindset every year.
Awesome, and you guys are 6-0 halfway through this season. Jonathan, what is it going to take to go 6-0 the rest of the way, bringing home, again, a undefeated league championship?
It's going to take that same intensity. It's going to take that same mindset. I know other teams have called us second best. We proved ourselves. Tonight we proved ourselves at second best, and we're going to continue to prove ourselves.
Prove yourself. I would say that's what they did tonight. These are the Wisca Wolves. Guys, take us out.
Brian Mueller saying hello from Stockton Tuesday night, where Weston Ranch was trying to top Edison to force a tie for first in league. The Vikings won the first match 4-2, and they get off to a good start in this one when Jesus Rios converts on this free kick to make it 1-0. Final 2 minutes of the half, Sergio Garcia takes out his 3-wood and lets it rip. What a hit by Garcia, and we're all tied up at 1. And just a minute later, Zinedine Valdez with a corner, and he places it on the head of Mauricio Morales, and the Cougars have 2 goals in 2 minutes to take the halftime lead. But the Vikings waste no time in the second half. The initial save is made, but there's Rodolfo Garcia with a running header, and we're tied at 2. About 10 minutes later, the ball loose down the middle, some miscommunication by Edison, and Valdez has an empty net, and he gives Weston Ranch the lead right back. 3-2. Under 15 to play, another set piece for the Vikings. Rios with a beautiful ball, and David Dominguez on the other end of it. We're tied again, 3-3. Final minute of the game, Edison with a throw-in, and it's a penalty in the box, so we get a PK. This will be the final play of the game regardless, and Fernando Varelas comes up clutch. I don't know if I've ever seen a walk-off penalty kick in a regular season game, but there you have it. Edison wins possibly the game of the year so far, 4-3, opening up a 2-game lead in the San Joaquin Athletic Association.
This season, Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who give it their all in their sport and give back to their schools.
In this week's Service Champions Student Spotlight, we feature Jordan Dix from Fairfield. The senior baseball player is the ASB president at Fairfield and serves as a commissioner at the school. Jordan is also in the marching band, the drum line, and is a photographer for sporting events. A busy, busy guy. Congrats, Jordan, on being a champion in service for your school. Coming up, East Union and Kimball facing off for the league lead in the VOL.
And then it's Turlock and Downey. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
2 teams in the Valley Oak League come into the week undefeated in league play, East Union and Kimball. The EU Lancers are the 3-time defending champ. Senior Taylor Snare has been on each of those championship teams.
And Kimball comes into the game with an 18-2 record. Mari Sorellis is a three-point machine for the Jags. The league lead on the line Tuesday night between Kimball and East Union. The game played in Tracy.
Tracy area sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way. The Kimball Jags feeling loose, getting set to take on East Union, the biggest league game to date for both of these teams, and freshman Emma Coronado is not fazed. She hits the step-back three. The Jags off to a fast start. Kaya Sims picks the pass, gives it to Coronado, then to Mari Sorellis, and Mari does not miss. Kimball out to an 11-3 start when Sims grabs the board, gets the foul, the ball falls for the and one. Jags looking good early, but East Union is able to come right back. The captain, Taylor Snare, goes hard to the rack. This game is tied at 13 after 1. In the second, Snare tacks on 3 after taking the pass from Mariela Navarro and hitting the shot from long. EU with its first lead of the night. But this was a back-and-forth game. Melissa Diaz rips the ball away, passes it to Sorellis, and with plenty of room in the paint, Mari goes for the 3, and it puts the Jags back on top. Lancers down by 2. Nyla Dyson down low to a driving Ava Barrera, and the freshman puts it away. Kimball has a talented freshman as well. Coronado lands the impossible hook shot, and she would lead her team with 18 on the night. EU takes the 5-point lead into the break. Sorellis to Sierra, Tulialu in the corner, and the pocket 3 ties this game at 32. But Dyson is quick to put her team back on top with the putback, 54-52. Kaya Sims with a great night for the Jags as she finds an open route to the hoop for 2. But the Lancers up by 5 and show no signs of slowing down. Snare jumps it off to Denise Payne, 41-34 EU. Then it's Snare chasing down the loose ball. Plenty of Jags blocking her way to the hoop, so watch this move. She is so good. 45-38 going into the fourth. Freshman Nyla Dyson with 17 on the night. So much young talent from each of these teams. This rivalry will be going on for years to come. And there to cap off these highlights is the senior herself, Taylor Snare. Taylor with a game-high 24 as the Lancers stand all alone in first in the VOL. The defending champs now in the driver's seat.
For my years here, we've won it every year, so I feel like that's just been, from the beginning, it's been like we've been the person to beat. It doesn't mean anything though. We still got to beat this team again. We still got to beat Manteca again, so at the end of the day, we still have to bring it home.
The Downey Knights looking to go to 5-0 in CCAL play against the defending co-champs on Wednesday. Turlock sitting at 3-1 in league. The Knights' Ruben Lewis kicks it out to big brother Jordan, and Jordan hits the triple. Downey out to a 10-4 lead. Jed Ledeen great in the paint, and he can hit the mid-range too with ease. Jed leads this team with just over 20 points a game. Edward Bobadilla was lethal from 3-point range. Here he is swishing the 3 to put Downey up by 7 midway through the first. Then it's Ruben Lewis with the block pass, and he chases down the ball, goes hard to the glass for 2. Both Lewis brothers would finish with 15 on the night, but the Bulldogs hang in there as Ledeen throws a lob up for Gavin Cox. 22-15 Downey after 1. And with a minute and a half left in the half, Ledeen slings it over to Dutch Lawrence at the wing, and the sharp shooting sophomore hits for 3. But Downey not letting its foot off the gas. Ruben out to Bobadilla, and Edward hits his 5th 3 of the first half. When you're hot, you're hot. 38-27 at the break. And the Knights extend that lead to 14 when Lewis nails the corner 3. Ruben gets the and one. The free throw makes it 41-27. Bobadilla with the rebound. Have a day, Edward, the senior, just having fun, but this thing is far from over. Ledeen at the top of the key hits Lawrence in the pocket, and the sophomore with 15, all by way of the 3. But Ledeen gets the MVP chant, a gorgeous spin leading to a fadeaway shot there. The Bulldogs score 24 in the fourth quarter. Ledeen driving and goes strong for 2. This is a 3-point game, but in comes Lloyd French. A relatively quiet night for the Knights' leading scorer, but with 7 in the fourth, French puts this thing away for the Knights. A nice and one there to finish it off. Downey remains the top dog in the CCAL with the 4-point win. 6 threes for Bobadilla and a double-double for Ruben.
The McClatchy Lions hosting Monterey Trail on Tuesday. Yeah, what he said. We head to the 24th minute of the first half. McClatchy's Kate Zimmerman shakes and bakes and finishes with the left foot. 1-0 Lions. To the 30th minute now, Molly Silva follows suit and deposits this check right here. And then just moments later, Last year's Sac-Hi Soccer Player of the Year, Susie Long, splits the defenders and sets up Silva again for the up close and personal, and the Lions take a 3-0 lead at the break. Monterey Trail strikes back, though, as the Metro League's leading scorer, Amanda Doe, adds to that total off the keeper's hands, and the Mustangs are making a game of it. Midway through the second half, Zimmerman looking for a second goal. It's off the post. A good job by number 13, Ariana Manriquez, of boxing out the rebounder and allowing goalie Callie Neufeld to recover. MT with a penalty kick in the 75th minute, but the Lions goalie Rihanna Triels puts up her umbrella and keeps it a 2-goal game. PK chance for McClatchy now. The Harvard-bound Susie Long comes through. She knows where to find the 49ers Sac-Hi cameras, and McClatchy maintains its Metro League lead at 6-1.
Each week we showcase a top recruit from the Sac Joaquin section.
This week's top recruit is B.J. Davis from Modesto Christian. The point guard received 17 Division I offers before committing to San Diego State last fall.
Coming up, our second SunPower Electric game featuring the girls from Ponderosa and Lincoln.
Then it's Stone Ridge and Venture Academy in boys hoops as 49ers Sac-Hi Sports rolls along.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we are in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Brought your baseball glove to basketball practice, but turned out to be football practice? Game on, junk sleep. It's Mattress Firm's new bed, new you sale. Save up to $500 on the sleep you deserve. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase. Only at Mattress Firm, the official sleep partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
We are back at Levi Stadium with our second SunPower Electric game tonight. The Ponderosa girls basketball team's spectacular season continues this week. The 20-2 Bruins looking to take down the defending Foothill Valley League champs.
Yeah, Pondo Power. Lincoln has not lost a league game since 2020. Our Brian Mueller was in Shingle Springs on Monday for the matchup. It's Pondo and Lincoln in our SunPower Electric game.
Electric game.
Robert and Aubrey, it is no surprise that a 19-2 team hosting an 18-2 team would be a battle for first place, but that is the case with Lincoln taking on Ponderosa for the top spot in the Foothill Valley League in our SunPower Electric game. Starting with the visiting Bruins, they were led in scoring last year by one of the best freshmen in the area, and Brooklyn Nordquist is even better as a sophomore this season. The Zebras, on the other hand, have star senior Katie Leaf, who earlier this month became Lincoln's all-time leading scorer. She's averaging 18.5 points per game. Here come the Zebras on their home court, facing a Ponderosa team that has yet to lose on the road, and the Bruins making themselves right at home. Haley Porter to little sis Sammy Porter, and just like that, Ponderosa opens the game on a 14-2 run. But Lincoln turns to their leader to get back on track. Leaf looking like she could have a spot in the Niners secondary with this pick, and then takes it in for the basket and the foul. Then Maya Hodge passes out of the double to Jordan Basana, who hits the baseline J as Lincoln responds with an 8-0 push to make it 14-9 late in the first. Second quarter now, the Zebras' comeback continues. Leaf scoops this ball off the paint, and the lethal weapon continues to do harm down low. Zebes down by just 4. Back come the Bruins. Some nice little give-and-go action between A.J. Slechkowski and Casey Drailing. A.J. has it all the way, and Pondo is back up 7. And they continue to build that lead back up. Those same two teaming up again, this time Drailing doing the honors with the 3-ball. Final 3 seconds of the half, Drailing has to put it up, and she drains it, hitting the long 3 to beat the buzzer and send the Bruins into the half with a 15-point lead. But the Zebras showing their stripes in the third. Hodge and Issa Cato say we can run this play too. Lincoln down a dozen. Then it's Hodge and Cato collaborating again. The freshman nailing the 3. Less than a minute later, Cato is cooking. And suddenly the Zebras are down just 6 with 3 minutes left in the third. The Bruins would bend but not break. Slachkowski to Nordquist in the corner for three. 44-33, Pondo early fourth. Zeeb's answer, Hodge hits to cut the Ponderosa lead to 8, but the shots were falling from beyond the arc for the Bruins. Tabitha Shoemaker, the shot maker on this one, then drailing to Haley Porter for another 3, and the Bruins are atop the Foothill Valley League with a 56-47 win. Brooklyn spoke after the game about the Bruins' hot start in this one.
We knew we had to start quickly because we need to push the ball because that's how we play this year. Is we have fast players, we can drive the ball, we can make our layups.
Reporting in Lincoln for the SunPower Electric game, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
4-1 Stone Ridge Academy taking on 5-0 Venture Academy. And wait, is that an I Love Sac-Hi poster? Yep, love that. Warning, if you don't like three-point shooting, well, you might want to look away. Brock Richards of Stone Ridge does not knock down a 3. It's a long 2. It's all right because we keep the camera rolling. And here's Jaden Fakori drilling his second three-pointer to open up the contest. Venture's Jacob Segura, the no-look pass to Cameron Lowe for the score, 17-11. Venture up top. Then Fakori with the steal goes up the floor to Mario Williams Jr., who lays it in. 11-point lead for the Mustangs. Stone Ridge Cassis Salazar keeps it close for the Knights with the three-point shooting. He had 4 triples in the game, but Venture's Williams Jr. was feeling it from three-point land as well. And then Williams Jr. goes bottoms once again for the Mustangs as they lead it by 16. Segura with another assist. This time it goes up to Lowe, who raises up and throws it down. Third quarter now, Williams Jr. was still knocking down triples. He had 6 in the contest, Mustangs by 22. And Jacob Segura gets in the act as well. 3-ball corner pocket, good. And finally, Venture Academy wrapping this baby up with another bucket by Williams Jr. He tallied up 35 points on 6 made threes. But Segura stole the show and set a school record with 13 assists. They went big.
We've been playing together for a really long time. You know, we have a lot of team chemistry, and we really like a family. It's a good program. This is going to be our third. We want to win a league for the 3rd year in a row now, undefeated.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Alea Harmon from the Christian Brothers girls basketball team. The sophomore sports a very, very good 4.14 GPA.
Coming up, it's Laguna Creek and Grant for the Metro League lead.
Then it's Wood Creek and Antelope. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be right back.
There is a logjam at the top of the Metro League. 3 teams enter the week at the top of the standings with 5-1 records. Laguna Creek and Grant are 2 of those teams. The Grant Pacers are the defending champs, led by 6'8" senior Jordan Bobo.
Laguna Creek was the team to hand the Pacers their only league loss. Dante Walls scored 15 in that game. The Cards looking to topple the Pacers once again. The game played Wednesday night at Grant.
It's a battle at the top. Grant cheerleaders all in this one as Laguna Creek came to play. Here we go. Laguna clears everyone out. So Dante Walls has an open lane to the hoop. No weak side help. No problem for Walls. The easy dip. Time winding down the first quarter. Grant's Isaiah Montu takes this impossible shot. It catches iron and drops. Pacers up 1 after 1. Second quarter, Laguna's Jalen Flenroy. No look over to Jaden Smith in the corner, and the 3 is true. Cardinals lead. But the next trip down, Montu for Grant hits another big shot. This one from three-point land. The Pacers go back up 1. Third quarter tied at 29. Andre Gomez, the long 3. It's nothing but net for the lefty. Pacer lead at 32-29. Laguna's Walls changes that pretty quickly as he explodes to the hoop. It's a 1-point game. Late third, Kiku Parker starts cooking. The drive, the dippy floater falls, and it's a 5-point Pacers lead. Fourth quarter, Grant goes up by 8 as Gomez gets rewarded for running the floor. The finger roll, and it's in. Grant picking it up on the defensive end. Darnell Hunter up the floor to who else? Gomez, and he throws it down with the Pacers' pride. Then Kiku takes over down the stretch. When Grant needed a basket, Kiku gave it to them. 9-point lead. Lead goes down to 6 here when Dante Walls hits the corner pocket 3. Laguna Creek down 4 late. Walls takes a long 3. It's off. Great play by him, though, as he catches, gathers, and scores. Cards down 2, but the time runs out on them as Laguna's comeback falls short. Grant wins 50-48.
We
was all tied up, even us, Monterey Trail, Laguna. That just put us ahead right there. Now we just need one more versus Laguna. We'll be all good, except for lead.
Antelope looking for a win over second place Wood Creek Wednesday night. The Creek with possession. Isaac Hawthorne finds a waiting Tay Hollins, and Hollins knocks down the 3 for the first points of the game. Antelope responds. Cabrayon Odom hits the mid-range jumper, but Wood Creek would go on a run. Austin Ito gives it to Cooper Cornelius. King Cornelius hits the pocket 3. Then it's Ito giving it to Hollins. Tay over to Isaac Hawthorne, and this mid makes it 11-2 Wood Creek. Antelope battling back. Dante Martin's screen pass gives Nate Elliott a wide open look. It is 16-10 Wood Creek with 6 minutes to go before the half. Julian Elias drives, gives it to Ethan Thompson. He dumps it off to Odom, and Cab makes this a 5-point game. Ito now from the top of the key finds a wide open lane to the rack. Austin floats it up and banks it in, back to a 6-point Creek lead. Until 2 Titan possessions later, Elias is given way too much room in front of him, and Julian does not miss. It's a 1-point game with 3 minutes to go before the break. Omari Shoop-Kudgo cushions that Timberwolves lead with this uncontested 3, but closing seconds of the second quarter, Antelope down by 2. Alias drives to the rack, defended by 3 Timberwolves. He gets the shot to fall. We are tied at 21 at the break. Antelope takes its first lead of the night in the third when Sir Mr. Harriel kicks it out to Thompson, and Ethan's 3 makes it 24-21 Antelope. Back come the Timberwolves. Ito to Hollins at the elbow, and T-A-Y-E for 3. Then it's T-A-Y-E for 4. Hollins with the corner 3 and the foul. The 4-point play makes it a 5-point Wood Creek lead. And the Creek is not done. Max Van Lanningham comes in with a big-time denial. Now we'll show him on the offensive side as Hawthorne hits Max down low. Wood Creek would outscore the Titans by 20 in the second half to win it. Hollins puts the icing on the cake with this one-handed slam-a-jamma. Wood Creek goes to 6-1 in league play. Hollins with 23 on the night. Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.com to order entire game videos.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports coverage. 49ers.Sac-Hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter.
Coming up, we will choose the play of the week. This could be the play of the week, maybe not.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin section top 10 basketball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
We are back to announce tonight's play of the week.
Our marvelous Mark Willis will list off a few contenders and then announce the winner of the play of the week.
Play of the week. All right, here we go. Grant's Andre Gomez throwing it down on a breakaway. And then Casey Dwelling, a deep 3 to beat the buzzer for Pondo. Leon Milson Jr., Adams and Edison, the nice pass and the two-handed flush. But this week we're going to the soccer field. Sergio Garcia, Weston Ranch, just over the keeper's head and in. That's the play of the week.
That's the play of the week, and that is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Braunstein. Tune in next week for the highlights of the big game in the South as Modesto Christian takes on St. Mary's. Those exciting highlights and more next week. We'll see you then.